Warning, there are profanity, topics, and other opinions that could offend you. Please watch and or listen at your own risk, and enjoy the show. Hey guys, I'm RDiK, OLDSCHOOLDUELIST, whoever everyone want to call me, and welcome back to the Voidcast. I had to wait a little bit to record. It's like 9:30 at night. People have probably been laying down, but this week's episode, I know, 2 weeks in a row, but this week's episode is got some interesting stuff. I'm going to be talking about Warped Tour, because I went to Warped Tour, the Tinley Park Warped Tour over the weekend. I also am going to be talking about my my Pokemon Stadium 3DS project that I've been working on. I've been working on it. If you follow me on social media like Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, or even my Snapchat, you already know about it. So I've been talking about it a little bit. I only recently started talking about it on like Facebook and Twitter and Instagram this week. But I have been like snapping pictures on Snapchat. So if you want to follow me there, Twitter at OSDuelist12, Instagram is the same thing. Facebook, it's facebook.com/OSDuelist12. Instagram Snapchat is OSDuelist12 if you want to follow me there. And I've been doing a lot of updates. I did a stream of me, just like a random late night stream of me just working on it. And I have a lot of things to talk about it, because that's going to be today's main topic, all that in the show. But first, I have to give a big shout out to a big shout out to Audioboom and its amazing service. Audioboom, I'm not sponsored by Audioboom, but I always like to give a shout out because they offer an amazing service. As the lowest tier, I am $10 a month, and I'm allowed to upload, but they allow me to upload the podcast. It's like kind of like what I want the main source of the podcast to be. I'm trying a new format on the show, just because I can't guarantee uploads every week, just because of a busy schedule. I want to get back in that habit of I want to get back in the habit of uploading weekly, not specifically on a specific day. I would like for it to go back to the specific day, because it used to be every Wednesday on Audioboom, every Thursday on YouTube. It's the same podcast on Wednesday as Thursday, and then at the end of every month, I'd always do a special monthly episode. I still will try and do like a once a month episode for Audioboom listeners only. Audioboom entails Spotify, iTunes, and Google Play. So if you don't want to listen to me, if you're not following to me on Audioboom, which you totally should, you can follow me. You can listen to the podcast there on Google Play or iTunes or Spotify. That is a new one, actually. Spotify. I found out if you listen to last week's episode, I kind of found out like during the podcast. But yeah, I'm not going to be doing unless any big news for Overwatch League, just because, like I said, I'm not uploading weekly, so I'm not going to be able, so it's kind of pointless to continue to upload, or to do the Overwatch League coverage unless it's big news stuff. But there's nothing big this week, except for the fact that they are going to be doing the playoffs and all that on ESPN, like the actual ESPN 1. But that's nothing like, that's big, but that's nothing like, crazy. They've had esports stuff on there before. I'm totally sidetracking. But anyways, yes, Audioboom, like I said, love Audioboom. I will always support it I will always say it, I love it until the day I die. Until I'm done with the podcast, which I don't see myself being 100% done with the podcast, maybe just not as many uploads. But yeah, that's it. But now moving on to the show. Like I said, I'm going to be talking about Warped Tour and my Pokemon Stadium 3DS. First, we're going to be talking about Warped Tour. Now, I went to Warped Tour 2018, the Tinley Park Warped Tour, because that is the closest one to me. Me and my amazing girlfriend, we went. She bought the tickets. It was my very first Warped Tour, and also my last Warped Tour, because if you guys don't know, Warped Tour is not going to be doing a cross-country tour anymore this year. 2018 is the last year, so if you still can get tickets, go get tickets if they're not sold out. This year's lineup at least for the Tinley Park Warped Tour, it was pretty awesome. It was like, it's not the greatest I've seen in the past, but it was still a good time and I loved it. It was an amazing first experience. Hopefully they still do a like Chicago or a Tinley Park, something like that, a Warped Tour here in Illinois, because it was tons of fun. It was amazing. Just a giant music festival. For the people that haven't gone, it's just a giant music festival that you just get to hear different bands, big name bands. They got lower tier bands at smaller stages, and it's tons of fun. Like, it is just amazing. I got to see I don't know the name of the first band I saw, like actually watched, but there was another band I saw, Don Bronco. Shout out to them. They are a UK band. At least that's what I think they were. They sounded like an English accent. But they are amazing. I never have heard of them until I went to Warped Tour. I probably never would have heard of them until I went to Warped Tour. They're amazing. I love their energy on stage. I've just been listening to them like all day today. Of the day of recording this. I listened to them all day today. They're just like, love their music. It's got like a chill alternative vibe, but it's like hype party music all at the same time. Like, it's really chill. They're a good band. I got to see them. They're a pretty cool band. They have a lot of good songs. A lot of songs that I'm also just like, meh, I could honestly not listen to that song and still continue my life. They're a good band. I like them. They're pretty cool. They got a good vibe. And they're a band I'm going to follow. I don't know if I'll save any of their songs. Maybe some of the songs I like. But they're a good band. So if you like I would call them like post-core in a way. Post-core metal. Post-core hard metal. They're a metal band. They're pretty cool. Check them out. Ice 9 Kills. They got a few good songs that I would recommend. Another band that I don't want to like shit on them, because let's just say they're not my cup of tea per se. And I like the message that they try to portray. I like what they stand for and everything like that. Like, it's awesome. I'm glad that they have a movement that they want to stand for. That's pretty fucking cool. But my only complaint about them is, like, when I watched them, it was like in between like every song they were trying to preach something. Like, I get it, in between some songs, like I was in a band. I know what it feels like. You want to explain, like, you want to give a brief, like, hey, this song's about a fun time me and my friends have, or this song's about my father, stuff like that. Like, songs like that, like, I get you want to talk about. Like, you want to give, like, you want to show your feeling to the audience and to your listeners, so they can at least get an idea of where the lyrics, where the music is coming from. I get that. Totally 100% get that, and I totally 100% support that. But it gets repetitive and kind of starts to become really preachy when, like, in between every single song you talk for like 2 to 3 minutes about what every song means to you. And that gets annoying, and, like, from a listener standpoint and from a, like, musician standpoint. From a musician standpoint, cool, but cut it down a little bit. Try to, like, just get your point across really fast, really done, so, and get to the music, because that is, I'm like, it's shitty to say this, and this comes from the listener standpoint. We're there to listen to the song. We want to know what the song feels like by listening to it. We don't want you to tell us how to, basically, we don't want you to tell us what the song is about and how we should feel about the song. You should, like, say, hey, the song's about, like, because, to give you a quick, like, example, they have a song that's about, because the singer, she was raped. She said she was raped multiple times. And so she wrote a song about it. That's cool. That's awesome. I support that. You're trying to tell your story. But say that. Just leave it at that. Don't say, like, she got into a bunch of, like, the song's about how I was raped, and I want people to be like, they don't have to keep quiet about it. I want people to feel like they can come here, blah, blah, blah. Chill it out a little bit. We get it. Like, it's a really touchy topic, especially in 2018, to, like, say chill about. But at the same time, just tell us. Just say, hey, I was raped a bunch when I was younger, or like whenever it happened to you. If you want to say when it happened, you say when it happened. If you don't want to say, you just say, hey, this song really means a lot to me. I was raped a lot, so this song tells my story. Boom, done. End of story. Like that's all, honestly, you need to say, because that shows, like, okay, this song's about how she feels about the topic rape, and gives her personal view of it. I'm going to get that right away. It gives me a better perspective on the song, and gives me something to think about when I do listen to the song. Where some songs you're just like, this song really means a lot to me. Plays the song. Like, sometimes you just want to throw it out there and leave it really vague and say, like, how do you interpret what this song means? What you think this song means to me. But I feel like you also, like I said, you shouldn't tell a whole, like, you shouldn't take 2 or 3 minutes to explain one song. You should not do that. Like, this is like stage presence 101. You can say what the song means to you. You can say, you know, what inspired you to write it. Like, you can give, like, a quick, like, you know, like I said, like 30-second, like, just, you know, hey, this song means a lot to me. It's about the story, or it's about my situations of being raped. Boom. Done. I'm gonna get it. But, like, it was little things like that she would do in between every song. I liked the energy. The song sounded good. I liked the songs. I like the sound of voice. I'm a huge, like, I do really enjoy female vocals. I don't know what it is. It's just female vocals. They just have a certain, like, ring to it. Now, I'm not so much big on, like, female scream vocalists. Like, don't get me wrong, there are some out there that are really, really good, like Entheos. I like Entheos. What's another? I can't think of any other one like that off the top of my head. But Entheos, that's one that I like. Arch Enemy, that's another one. Arch Enemy, I like Arch Enemy. Freaking what's the name of that one band that I listen to a lot? Can't think of it. It's like Murder Babies or something like that. I can't remember, but it's two female. It's a dual female vocalist. Like, there's two of them. Like, it's a full band, but there's two female vocalists. They both do screamings. They both do regular singing. They have a song called Monster Ball. It's a really good song. They're really good singers. They're really good screamers. But I'm getting off topic. But I like her voice. Her voice sounds good. It really, like, when you, like, she's one of those singers that if you hear her songs and you listen to them, you know, quite like, not, I wouldn't say quite often, but she has that voice where you're like, oh my god, this is the band. The name of the band is Sharp Twos. I'm not, like, trying to shit on them. I'm really not trying to. And so, like, say, like, they're a shitty band, don't listen to them. They're a good band. Like, if you want to listen to a band that, like, you know, promotes equality and says, hey, you know, people have go through shit. A lot of these people in the band, they've gone through shit, especially me. So why don't you give this band, why don't you listen to R&B? Like, they're a good band. Like, overall, they're a good band. Don't get me wrong. They are a really good band. I enjoyed listening to their music. But it was the in-between parts of their songs that were really just, like, annoying to me. And, like, the first couple times I was okay with it. But after, like, you know, the second and third song of in between every song, she has to say what every single song meant to her, what the band stood for. It just, it's annoying. To some people, it can be annoying, including me. Some people, they're just like, yeah, I support everything you say. I support everything you say as well. But don't try to push it in front of everybody's face. Because that's what it felt like. It felt preachy. It felt like, you know, agree with us type of thing. And it just, that's the way it came off to me. If she didn't mean it, I apologize. And I apologize to any fans that, you know, like her music and say, like, oh, I'm a piece of shit. If you're a long time listener to the Voidcast, you know part of my story. You know who I am. So that's why I don't want to shit on them. Because they're just a band with a movement, and they're trying to push equality, basically. Like, everyone's okay. Everyone goes through shit. That's cool. But anyways, yeah, Sharp Tooth, listen to them if you want to hear some songs about equality and about, hey, people go through shit. Here's my shit. Then go ahead and listen to them. I gave them a listen. They're a good band. I like some of their songs. Singer's really good. Drummer's really good. Didn't really pay attention to, like, the guitar parts, because it's just, like, I'm a drummer, so I naturally just listen to drums. The guitar doesn't sound bad. Like, nothing stuck out to me where I was just like, oh, that's so bad. It's good music. It's just good music. Sharptooth, good band. Good band. It's another good band I definitely suggest to go check out. And then the big band that was kind of like the big reason me and my girlfriend went, and that was for the Amity Affliction. They are a good, amazing band. That is my girlfriend's favorite band. I'm happy I got to see them. I'm happy that I got to see her favorite band. I got to feel like just the amazing music and listen to how good they are. It was really cool. It was really awesome. It was a nice experience. I've honestly never had that happen. I've never gone to, and if you're listening to this, sorry for saying this, I've never gone to a concert and gone to go see my significant other's favorite band. I've never had that happen. I'm glad I waited till her, because it was a cool experience to experience. Like, I got to see her, I got to see emotions that I've never seen on her before. Like, I've never seen her that type of happy. Like, I've seen her happier than that before. But I've never seen that happiness on her before, where she's watching something that just, hey, this means a lot. This band means a lot to me, or this thing means a lot to me, and it's really awesome to see it. And then see it with you. I got to see it with some of her friends. So shout out to them. It was just, it was an amazing day. It was just an awesome day. Great Warped Tour experience. Can't complain one bit. It was raining a lot. It was raining on and off all day, but I didn't care. I had a fucking blast. Even, like, in the pouring rain, when we watched the first song that Amity plays, or they played there, it was kind of cool, because just as they were getting ready to start, it was starting to rain, and the first song they played has the chorus line, "I bring the weather with me," and it was just kind of cool. Like, it's raining. As soon as they started playing, it started, like, coming down pretty hard. I didn't care. I was soaking wet. Everyone else was soaking wet. The singer was soaking wet. And we were all just having a good old fucking good ass time. It was awesome. It was great. If you got the chance to go to Warped Tour this year, the last Warped Tour cross country tour, then awesome. I'm glad you got to experience. If you've ever been to a Warped Tour, awesome. Let me know, and tweet at me at OSDuelist12. Tell me about your Warped Tour experiences. I want to hear them all. I want to hear every single one of them. I want to hear what dragged you, your first Warped Tour, your last Warped Tour experiences. I want to hear them all. So yeah, hit me up on Twitter at OSDuelist12, and you can tell me about your Warped Tour experiences. And if you don't have Warped Tour experience, give me some other great music experience, like concerts you've been to, or just other music experiences you've had. So yeah. Then moving on to the title of the episode, and that is Pokemon Stadium 3DS. It is a side project I've been working on. Like, to give you guys a brief summary, it's something I've wanted to do because I have two 3DSs. My old one, I wouldn't say I broke the analog, but like I was playing Metroid: Samus Returns, the Metroid game for 3DS, the new one that came out like last year. And I was on the final boss. I was getting frustrated because I kept dying, and I kept picking at the analog stick, and then I just picked the rubber part right off, so it's just kind of like a little nub. I fucking killed that last boss with that little tiny nub, so fuck you. And so yeah, that was a fucking just a fuck you moment. I was so happy. So yeah, then I bought a new 3DS because Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon were coming out, and I knew I was going to be playing the shit out of that game, and I didn't want that little nub to be an issue. So I bought a second 3DS. My old 3DS still worked; it's still playable. It just has a little tiny nub for an analog stick, and playing and using that for next a long amount of time can put a little pain in your thumb and can get really uncomfortable. So yeah, that's why I have two 3DSs. Well, what I decided to do is I've always kind of wanted to do this, but on just a fun between some friends. But now I want to actually make this an actual thing, and I've been working really hard on it the past 2 weeks. And that is making basically not recreating Pokemon Stadium, but just making Pokemon Stadium 3, and on the 3DS. So that's why I call it Pokemon Stadium 3DS. It's my little update version. A good way to compare it to some other people is people who play Magic the Gathering. They have a cube, and that's what it's called. It's called a cube. It's basically a bunch of just staple cards and staple things in there, and cards that you get to pick from and build a deck off of that. And that's the general idea for people that don't know what Pokemon Stadium is. So I'm basically making a Pokemon cube. I'm making a pre-selected, pre-built Pokemon, and you get to make a team out of whatever you're there. I've put some combos in there. I put some Pokemon in there. If you played a decent amount of Pokemon and strats, you can pick up on some of the strats I put in the game. There's also just I put random moves on Pokemon saying, hey, this Pokemon can go with this Pokemon with this, and I also want to see what my friends can also come up with, because I did just a fun by myself mock battle just to see what can happen. I actually found something that I unintentionally put in there as just a fun just back and forth type of thing that I accidentally put in there, and it was kind of cool. And I accidentally found a new combo that I unintentionally put in there. So I want to see what my other friends can do with. And the first wave of Pokemon is 18. I posted a picture of it on Snapchat, put it on Instagram, and I broken. If you just pick a team of overpowered Pokemon, I've noticed that you just win. So I need to dumb down some of those overpowered Pokemon, and just make it a little bit easier. Also, I want to talk about a little bit of my setup and my thought process for some of these setups, or for some of the Pokemon builds, rules I set for myself, picking Pokemon, picking moves, building them, and everything. My original goal was to do, because obviously I I have 2 games that, I have Pokemon Ultra Sun and just Pokemon Regular Sun. You can battle and trade between those two. But any Ultra Sun specific moves, you cannot use those moves if you're facing against Pokemon Sun. So it was one stipulation that I put on there when picking them. It has to be compatible with Pokemon Sun. There's no Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon moves. Cannot be picked, basically. You cannot pick them just so it's Pokemon Ultra Sun, or it's just so it's compatible with Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. And then I realized that, I would have to have 2 of every Pokemon because I want the same roster. I want both players to have the exact same Pokemon to pick from. And I was originally going to catch and level up 2 Pokemon, exact same moves, exact same nature, exact same. They all have the same nature, all base nature, serious. So they all have the same nature. It's just serious. That's a flat no pluses to anything. Characteristics do play a huge factor, or like kind of play a small factor in this. So that's what kind of sucks a little bit, but that is a little bit harder to control. I still want to see if I can control that and mimic that a little bit, and stuff like that. But yeah, my original goal was to catch 2 of every Pokemon or hatch 2 of every Pokemon, and try to level up as close as possible, because obviously I was going to be able to level them up exactly the same. Like maybe one has maybe 1 or 2 more attack than the other, or 1 or 2 more health than the other. So I was like, well, is there a way to fix that and make them exact? So I did a little bit of searching, and I found out I can just buy an action replay. Now, I'm not going to use that action replay to cheat the entire game and give me unstoppable Pokemon. No, I'm not going to do that. I may mess around with my friends and have some for fun battles with them. With we'll both build some stupid teams, or build some crazy teams that we just want to have some fun with, or crazy Pokemon. With this action replay, it actually helps me do this Pokemon Stadium project, PS3DS. It helps me with this project a little bit easier because I can clone the Pokemon, as well as I can build the Pokemon exactly how I want. I can mess around with their stats, with their IVs and their EVs. But I don't know how I want to start tweaking that yet. That's something for better fine-tuning that I'll be able to do. And I'm pretty sure once I figure out, once I'm able to test this with friends and stuff like this, because I'll be trying to do that sometime next week, or trying to do that a little bit this week. I'll figure it out. But it's just a little bit of fine-tuning that I need to do and figure out, and I'm pretty sure with just because this is going to be a public thing, and I'm going to be releasing to the public. I've already released it on all my social media: Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. So if you want to follow it, you want more information on that, then I will be releasing information there. As well as once I get this 18, once I fine-tune this 18, which I hope to do here within get fine-tuned here within the next next week or 2, fine-tune them and mess around with their stats and stuff like that, and try to balance them all, just balancing issues in general. I should be able to set it up to where it's just a back end, if it's 2 players who kind of have an idea about Pokemon. I'm not saying they competitive play, they know their stuff. As long as they have a general idea. Maybe they don't know that Fairy is weak to Steel and Poison. Maybe it's the small stuff like that. And that's another reason why I picked Gen 7 Ultra Sun and Sun games. Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and Sun and Moon, which I'll get into that in a little bit. But that plays a huge, picking all the way up to Gen 7 plays a huge factor in choosing those 2 games to build my game on top of. Like I said, small fine tweakings that I know I need to do. I'll probably get a better judgment once I have friends to play with, where I won't know what the other person's picking. I won't know what the other person's doing, so I'll have to base off of that, and I'll have to just say, hey, and maybe the 2 of us will be like, hey, I'm gonna play this team, this dumb team. I'm gonna tell them this dumb team, which it's possible this team can be built. It's possible that it can be accidentally built as well. So I just want to see, like, what can the person do to build their team against it, and stuff like that. And once I get all this fine-tuning out, I will release a sheet, a character list, basically, a character roster, with the stats and everything like that. Like I said, it's really easy to set up. It's a lot easier to set up with an action replay. But I will also set it up to where if rando people want them, they can get a hold of me, and I will get them all the Pokemon, because I can literally just clone the Pokemon and just trade them 2 sets, or just give them 2 sets. Like if it's someone I know in real life and we can meet up, I can just literally just give them the Pokemon that they need. I can give them the entire roster. And then once I fine-tune this 18 people, this first 18 roster, which I plan to do here in the next week or two, then I will, I'll add new waves of Pokemon. I'll update the list every once in a while. I'll nerf some people because I add this Pokemon, because I add this Pokemon gets too buffy, and then stuff like that. So basically, I'll be fine-tuning the meta in a way. And this will be my version of it. Like, obviously, if this picks up and becomes a popular thing, people will create their version and other stuff like that. Like, I know that's a thing if it becomes like a popular thing. It's a hard if. It might just be something between me and my friends that I basically have control over. And honestly, I feel like this will also make me a better Pokemon player in general, because I'll know moves, I'll know stuff like that. I can know stats. I'll be like, oh, it might help me in competitive play and stuff like that, because I'll learn stats. I'll learn what stuff means. Like, this is a fun side thing that I want to do for me and my friends, so that just gives us another something to do when we all hang out. And also, it's something that I've always kind of wanted to do for a good while now. So it's like I said, something that I've wanted to do, and I'm finally pushing myself to do. Is a lot of work, don't get me wrong, and honestly, if I didn't buy this action replay, which was just a cheap, like, $20, so if you want to mess around with an action replay for Pokemon as well, or you just want to break the game, because honestly, you can really break the game with this action replay, then you can just pick it up. I picked it up on Amazon for like $22, something like that, and I have Amazon Prime, so I just got it shipped to me in 2 days, and setup was easy and everything like that, and it's tons of fun. I love this action replay. Because I'm not going to use it for competitive play, because I do sometimes mess around with competitive play, like online competitive play. Sometimes I enter tournaments. Those will always be legit Pokemon. I can promise you that. I can guarantee you that, because I hate running into cheaters that do stuff like that. Always legit Pokemon with me, if I do competitive play or at a real match. But as long as we're doing, like, me and my friends want to do some fun stuff, or if me and my friends want to do the Pokemon Stadium stuff, that stuff will be done off the action replay. Hopefully soon I can set up some videos, because I do kind of want to do some live streams of Pokemon Stadium. I do kind of want to do some small videos on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/OldSchoolDuelist12. Always going to be in the description for both my Audio Boom and my YouTube page. It's tons of fun. This really is something like a small side project I want to do. I will be releasing it. I will be releasing the information on all social media. Probably I'll probably have one main source with a roster list. I do have a roster list right now, moves, stuff like that. Like, the moves, I think, is fine. With most of them, I might have to change a couple of moves on some of them. That's why I haven't released like an actual, like, hey, this is the official list. I do have the official Pokemon, like the official roster, the first 18 I want to pick. Now it's all just a matter of tweaking them and fine-tuning it, which is always the fun part. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the next week and a half, next week to 2 weeks, and then once it's done, I'll be releasing it. And then also, like I said, Gen 7, picking Ultra Sun and Sun. Basically, the Gen 7 games played a huge role in this decision on picking this one, because for people that haven't played the Gen 7 games, a very cool thing that they did is they basically made this game idiot-proof. As long as you've seen the Pokemon in the Pokedex, it will tell you the information, like, this is a fire, this is a grass water Pokemon. and like your Pokemon, the moves your Pokemon know, it will tell you like this is effective, this is ineffective. It gives you information on your and currently, like if you're using it, like if you and or your opponent have used any moves to buff or debuff Pokemon out there, it tells you those stats. It tells you like if there's any effects in play. Like it'll be like, oh, it's snowing in the current game. They've activated Trick Room, and this is what Trick Room does. This is what Hail does. It tells you exactly what this Pokemon move does. It tells you your abilities. This game literally is for beginners. It's idiot proof. As long as you can read and you know that those information buttons exist, then you can win. You literally can win, all because you don't know anything about Pokemon and you're playing a Gen 7 game. So picking these games was a huge decision in my thing. For some people, because like when I did post it on Facebook today, I did see a lot of people that were interested, and some people I don't know, like they're on my Facebook. I think I met them at a couple concerts. I went to school with them. Never really can't say I've really hung out with all the people that were interested in it. Like I know them through friends. I know their boyfriends. I know their husbands. I knew them like just because we had a class together in school. I know them. Like a lot of the people, like there were some friends of mine that were just like, oh my god, you're doing this. This is cool. I'm interested. Like, keep me updated. And there was the people on my Facebook that were just like, this is cool. Keep me updated type of thing. Which is cool because like even if it is a small community, just within people I know, and they want to do things like this, then I can honestly just, or if it stays with like, say like I gain a fan base on here and that has a following, I'll start a Discord for this, or I'll just start a Discord for this in general. Like if it becomes a decent following, like just between like Facebook friends and stuff like that, so that I can keep them updated. Like say, hey guys, if you need these new Pokemon, because I added a new wave of Pokemon. Like say I did like a Dragon line or something like that. Like it's just I had 6 new Pokemon that are just pure like they all are Dragon types. And here's the updates to the old Pokemon. Here's the new one. Get a hold of me if you need them. Stuff like that, or like say, hey, at the next get together for Pokemon Stadium 3DS, this will be the new updates and stuff like that. Like little things like that. Like if it gets a small following, if I get a small group that just wants to get together and do this type of things, and if that does become a success with that type of thing, then or just like I do get like I said, if I do get end up getting a small following, a group of friends that just enjoy doing this, I'll possibly get a 3DS that I can connect to a computer, and then obviously I connect to my TV, so I can record videos, or just have something so where if I do get a big group of people, the people that aren't playing, they can watch as well. They can see what's going on. So at least it's one screen that is connected to a bigger screen. But yeah, that's really about it. It's something that I really want to, I really am going to enjoy creating, because even if it does say something between me and my friends, or just a small following between my Facebook friends, then yeah, I'll might create a small Facebook page or a Discord or something like that, just for random people online that wants to keep up with it. And just friends that want to keep up with it, so they can still keep up with it, still play, still what's going on with it and everything like that. If they want to mimic it for them and their friends, they can, because I'll have all the information up there. It'll be a huge spread. I'll probably end up doing a big ass spreadsheet. But yeah, that's it. That is all the information I have on it right now. Any further updates, like I said, I'll keep you guys posted. If you really want to know about it, add me on Twitter, or follow me on Twitter at OSDuelist12. Same thing on Instagram at OSDuelist12. Facebook, facebook.com/oldschool or OSDuelist12. YouTube is youtube.com/oldschoolduelist12. I have a Reddit, OSDuelist, or the subreddit OSDuelist12. That's my username on Reddit. I posted something in an unofficial Pokemon subreddit. So that I won't just not put this information out there just cause. Even if it doesn't get a small following, I'll probably still just put the information out there just cause. So that is it for this week's episode. Hopefully I have time to post another or to record another one next week. I got some busy weekends coming up. These next couple of weekends are going to be busy weekends. Like I had Warped Tour this week. Last week, this upcoming week, I'm going to be doing some dog sitting with me and my girlfriend for her friend. And then the week after that, I'll be doing some house sitting with my girlfriend again for her aunt. So I got tons of fun. So like I said, if you guys want to keep up with it, like I said, follow me on all social media. Obviously, links are in the descriptions below on everything. But the big thing I'll be posting on is Twitter and probably my Snapchat. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at OLDSCHOOLDUELIST12. And like I said, this is a huge side project that I'm actually doing and I'm following through. I've tried doing video game. I tried creating my own video game, not from scratch, but from using a program. And I fell through with that just because it's like that game was a lot of work. This is like, it's basically just I'm taking Nintendo's game and tweaking it to make my own fun side game. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna end. Like I said, if you guys like what you're listening to, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on all social media. Twitter's the big thing. At OLDSCHOOLDUELIST12. So follow me on Twitter. Like that's where a lot of information. I will be posting a lot of information. For just everything. But I have to pee really bad. So thank you guys and have a wonderful, beautiful night, day, thing, or whatever.